Permaculture, learning from nature to live sustainably. Permaculture represents a comprehensive philosophy of sustainability. Its foundation lies in observing nature and imitating ecosystem processes, seeking to meet current needs without compromising the future. This concept, which has gained popularity in recent years, has proven to be an effective alternative for environmentally friendly agriculture. Rather than adopting an intensive monoculture approach, permaculture promotes the cultivation of diverse vegetables and greens in conditions adapted to each environment. Originally, the concept of permaculture was related to agriculture, adopting a holistic perspective that considers not only individual elements, but also the interactions between them. The essence of permaculture is based on the observation of natural ecosystems, where different living beings benefit from each other, ensuring the development, balance, and survival of the whole. This approach translates into the creation of agricultural systems that imitate these models. If, like us, you believe that another type of agriculture is possible, and you are interested in learning more about permaculture and sustainable agriculture techniques, don't forget to subscribe to the Cultivating Tomorrow channel and activate the notification bell. Let's go back to the origins. The term permaculture was introduced in Australia in the 1970s by biologist Bill Mollison and his student David Holmgren, who published the book Permaculture 1 in 1978, defining it as the conscious design of landscapes that replicate patterns and relationships in nature, providing sufficient food, fiber, and energy to meet local needs. Mollison founded the first Permaculture Institute in Tasmania, where generations of permaculture practitioners have been trained, giving courses and lectures worldwide, helping to spread its principles in several countries. According to Mollison, permaculture is presented as a positive response to the environmental crisis. Let us delve a little deeper into the essence of this model of interaction with nature, which is not limited to the simple extraction of food, regardless of the cost in terms of soil degradation, loss of biodiversity, and pollution at all levels, such as those derived from the practice of conventional agriculture, based on intensive tillage with heavy machinery, the massive use of synthetic chemical fertilizers, and the abuse of commercial herbicides and pesticides. Permaculture is based on three fundamental ethical principles. The first is caring for the earth, considering all species, beyond their usefulness to humans. The second is caring for people, respecting their rights through mutual aid and also valuing non-material aspects. The third is a fair share, promoting limits on consumption and returning surpluses and waste to ecosystems to regenerate the land. Additionally, there are about a dozen design principles, which can be summarized as observing nature to learn how to create integrated systems, search for renewable sources of energy, water, fertile soil, and biodiversity, achieve performance without compromising the future, minimize waste and reincorporate it into the natural cycle, promote integration rather than segregation, encouraging cooperation between species. Forests are one of the clearest examples of the structure of a natural ecosystem, where trees of different heights coexist with bushes and all types of vegetation, including grasses and mosses, as well as an endless number of diverse fauna that create a cycle of nutrients that is continuously returned to the soil. Similarly, permaculture involves growing crops that adapt to the climate, season, and soil composition of each plot of land. Instead of removing existing vegetation to plant long rows of a single type of plant, a wide variety of species are combined, occupying different niches according to their height, trying to avoid excessive competition for sunlight, and often arranged in spiral shapes that favor the interrelation of all the elements. This approach helps conserve soil nutrients and mix mutually beneficial crops, such as nitrogen-fixing plants with those that require it. In addition to crop association, permaculture tends to avoid the use of pesticides. To control pests, species are planted that attract predatory insects of harmful ones, such as ladybirds, which are effective against aphids. Rainwater collection is essential and can be channeled from the roofs of homes or public buildings. Vermicomposting, which uses worms to transform plant waste into compost, is also valuable as it improves the soil and retains water. Mulching, which involves covering the soil with a natural layer of dried leaves or straw, is used to protect crops. This practice helps absorb rainfall, reduces evaporation, provides nutrients, prevents erosion, and limits weed growth. Some permaculture practitioners choose not to prune fruit trees, although there is no consensus on this practice. Permaculture can be implemented at various levels on a rural farm, including home gardens, fruit tree plantations, and raising animals such as chickens and goats. Any surplus produced is destined for local markets, and the use of water, energy, and fertilizers is minimized, encouraging self-sufficiency. In urban environments, permaculture can also offer techniques for growing food in small spaces, taking advantage of empty plots of land, patios, or even terraces and small balconies. This practice can be both individual and collective, and also considers rainwater harvesting and the transformation of gardens into edible spaces. The principles of permaculture go beyond agriculture and have spread to other fields, such as architecture, which seeks to reduce the ecological footprint of buildings. To achieve this, natural and biodegradable materials are used, such as wood and adobe, preferably locally produced. These buildings often incorporate renewable energy sources and rainwater harvesting systems. In addition, drainage systems separate black water from gray water, allowing the latter to be reused for irrigation. Roofs covered with vegetation can also be implemented, promoting cultivation on them. In short, permaculture is about collaborating with nature rather than fighting it.